So,
Hi.
self-love versus self-care. Is there actually a difference?
There's a big difference. Big difference.
Okay.
When I first learned about self-love, I literally thought it was self-care. When people said, you just need a little self-love in your life, I was like, I already get my nails done, I get massages, I do all that kind of stuff, and it wasn't that. And what I've been learning even over time in the last year and a half is more about, it always changes too, which is really kind of cool, because for a while there I started figuring out I like bubble baths. They're not as exciting anymore. Yesterday I got excited because I went and shaved my legs for nothing. And like, those are the things, like, now for me it's not about the actions that we're taking, is how do we feel when we do them. Mm-hmm. So it could be, I literally just went for a walk in a different area. I went and seen the beach, and I haven't been to the beach in 6 months. It's that feeling of going to the beach after not being there for 6 months. That's the exciting part. It's the part that like it just, you're like, you fill your cup with what makes you happy, mm-hmm. not, you know, what you think you should do or whatever. So like, going back to my bathtubs, I started realizing they weren't, like, I took a bath because I was like, that is something I do. But guess what? It turned out to be something I was fixing again. So now I turned it into a solution versus a way of being. So do you get what I'm saying? Like, right. So then it was like, okay, so now I know how to fix when I'm not feeling well or not putting me first. I'm going to go fix it with a bubble bath, which is such a bummer because I really did love my bubble baths. And I may go back to it again when I do have that feeling, because that's what I'm looking for, is how do I feel? So when we're looking at our self-care, like when you're going to get your nails done, it could be the thing that's self-love for you, because you actually get to be there, you get to relax, you just get to enjoy your time. Or you with your phone on there and trying to like return messages the whole time and still like you have your earbud in, like there's a different way of being. Mm. So that's the biggest thing you want to look at for self-love versus self-care, is how do you feel? Are you really filling your cup of love? Or are you like checking another thing off the list to make you look like you're honoring self-love? Because we often look like we're honoring self-love and we really aren't.
So ultimately, self-care is almost like self-maintenance. Or it could be a facade.
It could. And it could just be a thing to do. Again, going back to like, am I fixing something? Like, I go get massages because I haven't, something wrong with my back. Mm-hmm. Or I go get massages to unstress, to alleviate the day. Like, that's still trying to fix that versus I just did it because I freaking wanted to. Mm-hmm. Like, what did I feel like when I walked out? Did I walk out a noodle, or did I walk out, okay, that should make me feel better to get me back in the office to be able to da-da-da-da-da. It's how are you feeling before, how are you feeling during, and how are you feeling after? That's the biggest thing that I look for.
So how do you draw the line in the sand, or really differentiate between, or notice when you're practicing self-care and that active maintenance, like, oh, I'm doing it because I have to, mm-hmm. as opposed to self-love and doing something because you want to and it feels good? And yeah, that's a great question, because it's literally, you have to kind of do a little pre-work to go, what would be my gauge? What would have me like look at, is this honoring self-love? How do I feel about it? Versus, because a lot of us now are being trained, it's not about your feelings, you're not your thoughts, you're not this, you're not that. But really, we are. It's like, how good do you feel? It's kind of like when you're dating someone, and after a while, you're like, this isn't the same. But man, before, when you first started, going out, it was like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, it's like, It's that same. You're looking for that feeling. You're looking at what, I personally, I like feeling appreciated and adored. It's just how I like, that's just what makes me feel good. You appreciate and adore me, oh my goodness, I'll do anything for you. Like, it just is that feeling I'm looking for. Now, and again, also being adored is also being pampered. So that's why the bubble baths were great. That's why, like yesterday, me putting together, like just the simple, like, wow, I just shaved my legs because I wanted to. Not because I was going on a date. I didn't shave my legs because I wanted to.
Exactly. It could be the opposite, which is normal for me. But it was just, I was just found myself like, okay, I'm going to shave my legs, and I don't, but it was like noticed during it, after, I was like, that was nice. That was just really nice, because I adored and pampered myself. And sometimes we also look outward for someone else to make us feel that way. And if you can just feel that way because it's you, for you, then when they do that stuff, it's a bonus. Now we're not having to look for our husbands or our girlfriends or boyfriends to make us happy. We have it within. So then when they do those extra things, it's like, wow, that's cool. Like, thank you for meeting me where I already put myself.
Mm-hmm.
And did I answer the question?
Yeah.
About the feeling? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's ultimately putting yourself first. Like you said, shaving your legs because you wanted to shave your
Yeah.
legs, as opposed to I'm wearing a pair of shorts or a dress today and I'm going to be with a man, so I need to.
Seriously. Or if I'm going to go get a
First.
pedicure, I shave my legs for the person.
Oh, never
I go get a
forget my
massage, I
first
shave my
pedicure.
legs.
I did not know that they gave you a leg rub, and I had not shaved my legs. It was one of those, well, this is happening.
Like, please wear gloves, because I feel like you feel better for you. I know, I'm always conscious, like when I go get a massage, I'm like, oh gosh, how embarrassing, I didn't shave my legs. And so I do that for other people. I just wasn't doing it for me. And I was like, well, I just want to lay there and like my legs, you know?
So in what ways can ladies, men as well, in what ways can we practice self-love as opposed to self-care?
The first thing you want to do is go just start doing things and then see how it makes you feel. Like, I didn't know before I went to shave my legs that I wanted to, that was going to be a self-love act. It was afterwards, I'm like, wow, that felt good. That was just for me. That's awesome. So it's more or less just going out and doing different things. Maybe it's stuff that you've never done before. Maybe you could even look at like other people and be like, wow, I really like that they go do those kind of things. Go try it. And just play around and then gauge in how did that make me feel? That made me totally feel great, made me happy. Okay, great. Was it really for you and you only? Great, even better. So that's my biggest tip. Just go do something, see what it's like, see how it feels. But you got to do something different, because we already know the things that we do. We already know how that makes us feel. And if it's not lighting us up, do something different.
Yeah, I'm going to say something, just you let me know if I'm on the right track here. So I may have a little bit more leeway than most people, but I mean, there have been days when I have woken up and I've had this laundry list of things to do and been like, you know what? And I've just been like, no, it's not happening today. I don't want to. I don't want to do all that stuff. I'd much rather just kind of relax. Maybe I'm not feeling good. I think that's another huge thing when it comes to self-love. Like, how do you actually feel when you wake up?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're unwell? Do you need to take a break? Most people will just power right through it instead of taking care of yourself.
Imagine that. Got to check out my story. But it is that way though. And that's, I think, today we just live in this world of I gave my word to something, so therefore I have to do it. And we really don't give ourselves freedom to change our mind or say, hey, I can't do that today, and let's, this day will work better for me. And also honestly look, can I really do that today, or is it going to really make me unhappy? And there's times you got to do stuff you don't want to do. But if it's something that is that complete dread, be in communication, especially if it's with someone else. You just be in communication with that person, because a lot of times too we take this on we have to do it, and if we just told the person, they'd be like, oh, that's fine, let's do it next week, whatever. But we put it on ourselves to feel like we have to do that. So just giving yourself that choice. So when you wake up and you're like, I ain't doing this. I also, by the way, I don't even have a to-do list anymore. I have things that have to, things to get done. And every night I look at, for the next day, what are those next 3 things that I want to do every single day? And I just give myself, I have 3 things to do today, and if I accomplish them, great. If I do more than that, even better. Because when I had that long list, and the next day, okay, I'm going to do all of that. No, I didn't. And then I felt like crap that night. So when you're waking up and you're just like, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to be in communication, and I will get the impact, because there might be an impact on somebody else if you don't. But first be in communication. And honor what makes you happy, because we just do a lot of stuff we don't need to do.
And your happiness is most important to you. My happiness is most important to me. Your happiness is most important to you.
For real.
And
it's also, and the other thing too is we think that we're going to upset somebody else. They just want us to be happy. So especially with a spouse or family or whatever. You rushing around and doing all this stuff and completely draining your happiness actually makes them more unhappy because they're feeling your unhappiness. I don't give a crap. Anyone out there that you guys do, great. Check in with the people around you. How does it feel for them that you're like in the do mode and you're not even present with them, you're not happy around them, but you got a lot of crap done. I personally would rather have someone around me that's just completely full of bliss and barely getting anything done than someone that's doing a lot of stuff and like, ugh, the energy. You just know that energy when they're around you. You're like, I'm so sorry. Please go back to bed. Take a nap, you know? Like, just take a nap already. And that was me. And I did. I lived for 3 years, 12-hour days of just doing for others. And not that I didn't want to do for them. What I didn't want to do was the grind every single day. But I didn't speak up because I had this thing that I had to serve others and I forgot about me. And we just do that. So when you wake up, you're doing great. That's actually really good, no matter, like, and share it with other people. This is how I live my life. And oh my God, I'm surviving. Like, my life is thriving way more than it ever was when I worked 12-hour days doing this. It's like, I think I got 3 things done today. Yes. You know, that is really.
And if you didn't get them done,
then you go,
think
I
about
didn't
what
get
you
it
did
done.
get done.
Exactly.
I mean, you didn't just like do nothing all day. I mean, even if you laid in bed all day, that's something you did.
Exactly. And honor that. Why did I sleep in all day? There's times like for me, I got really good on, which is part of my segment, is the Netflix and versus like the Netflix and like relax and check out. I actually like, and just like, because I like to get into movies that have me go into some other world. I love that. That's a self-love act to me. But when I watch Netflix and check out from life, that's a different story. So even if you did lay in bed, like, you know, now you're pregnant, you lay in bed, you're taking care of baby and mama. That's a self-love act if I've ever seen one. And it's honoring what you need right now for you and baby. So now if you're just laying around and you just want to check out from life and you're not out and engaging, that's a whole different ball game. But if you're doing it for you, and I think that's another thing that a lot of people like, they make it a bad thing if you're like chilling.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you're not going a million miles an hour? What do you mean you're not working 40 to 80 hours a week? What do you mean you're only working 25 hours a week, Don? There's no way you're only working 25 hours a week. That's the game I'm playing. Like, why would I work smarter, not harder, you know? And that's just a whole different mentality shift. But when you're, you know, waking up in the morning and you don't want to do it, don't do it. Now, if it's a different, like, I don't want to check out and, you know, again, it's going back to that feeling.
Yeah.
Wanting to know what that feeling is.
Honoring the feeling. So this month, we're talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Big conversation right now, the whole depression and anxiety thing.
Yeah.
A little taboo, a little uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
How can self-love, an act of self-love, or acts of self-love, lots of them, help someone heal from depression and anxiety? Does it help someone heal from depression and anxiety?
I'm here. That's one of my biggest things when I found self-love was at that particular time, the doctors were wanting me to go on like Prozac and Xanax and all that because I did suffer from depression. I did suffer from anxiety. And I say suffer because it is a suffering. I don't care. Don't ever let anyone diminish what that feels like because it is the most helpless feeling, especially when you're someone that didn't have it and out like kicking ass and taking names, and all of a sudden it's like bam, and you're like, what's going on and who am I and why do I do this? Why does my body do this? Why is my body reacting to this? It was really, really scary for me to like think of, oh my God, I have to now be on these pharmaceutical medications, which for those that are out there that take it, I please do not say, I am not saying don't take it. It just wasn't for me. And I knew it. My intuition was like, don't. And I was looking at self-love, and it really was like, what would the medication do that I could then do it in a different way? How can I, again, going back to that feeling, how can I still have that same feeling of like peace and ease without having to take a pill to do it? I figured my lifestyle created the problem, working so much and stressing and all that stuff. Then there's a way to have my lifestyle, then honor it and reverse it. And is it gone? No. Do I have it from time to time? Absolutely. But now I have things to put in place immediately that it's like, oh, I'm starting to get panicky. I just have to rest for a second. I got to da-da-da-da, whatever. I can go be around dogs. I can go be around kids. I can go, well, until recently, take a bubble bath or, like doing different things. But like, until I actually felt it, I couldn't truly empathize with somebody about what it was like for them. But now I can. And with self-love, like, there's just so many, when you're always on the pursuit of happiness and wanting to seek joy and always wanting to look for those things that make you feel good, you don't see the stuff that doesn't. And that's a lot of it. It's all mindset, where it's like tricking your own brain to like stop focusing on that stuff, especially those things that made you sick, but start focusing on things that make you well. And that was one of my biggest takeaways from what I've gone through, is like my mind is so strong that if I focus on what gets me well, I'm going to get there faster than focusing on what wasn't. And it took something, because I went through so many different phases of like upset, anger, betrayal, wanting to stay pissed off, to fight, and it just was like, what for? Because it's just making my body sicker. So yeah, self-love is the shit, pretty much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling down in the dumps or maybe a little frazzle-dazzled, listen, I have trouble with both as well. I don't like to say I suffer from them. I like to say I fight them.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just makes me feel better about myself. But I mean, whether you're watching this on Facebook or I don't think I'm going to have this on Instagram because that doesn't work. But if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to comment, like, how do you get through your down days, whether you have depression, anxiety or not, or whatever it is. It's safe to say we all have
moments. Every single person. I can guarantee we can go around this park right now and talk to somebody, and they're going to tell us a moment, even if it was a small period of time when they either lost someone or they lost a job, or even postpartum after having babies, or it's just what our chemicals in our brain does, and it just happens. But
so share with us, like, what is self-love to you, and when it was a time that you use self-love to help you get out of whatever that slump is. So
and they may not even know that's what they were doing, which is kind of cool, because it's really not that hard. It really isn't. Go do stuff you like. That's it.
You actually have something very special.
I do.
For ladies.
Actually, I've had a couple men want to do this, and I'm thinking the online program I can. So I've just launched an online program. I call it's 8 modules, but because I want to give freedom where you can just hop around, whatever feels good, because we're all about feelings around here. So whatever feels good, you want to go do it, hop to it, go for it. And so, I've had men actually show interest. So I'm like, I don't think you cannot be in it. Now, they can't be in the Self-Love Society because it's a women's group, but for the online program, and it's 8 weeks, it's $47. I know, ridiculous, seriously ridiculous, but it's all at your own pace. It's all on your own. If you do want to do something like with me and need more support, there's an additional cost for that. We just send me a message and I'll work that out with you. But it's pretty cool because we talk about all the different aspects and every single thing. I basically took the last 2 years, or year and a half at the point when I started this, of how I went from working 75 to 90 hours a week, sicker than a dog, on medical leave for a year, like how I went through every single space with self-love, and everything I had to stumble upon or like find out for myself, I am like putting it all in one spot for you, so you don't have to do the whole year and a half long journey of how do I get through this. And I just break it down, and you get to do little exercises or little assignments, whatever empowers you to call them, little fun activities, whatever. I think I call them fun activities now that I think about it. And you get to start exploring, which is really cool.
At your own pace.
At your own pace. So it can take you 8 days, it can take you 8 weeks, it can take you 8 years. I am so not attached to it. Everyone goes through their journey differently, and that's it.
Okay, so you mentioned the Self-Love Society for women. So the Self-Love Society is for women. The modules,
anyone can do. Yep, anyone can do, even teenagers. I don't know about young kids, but teenagers can do it, which I'm excited about. The Self-Love Society, super cool. So for the last 10 months or so, I've had monthly events where I bring women together, we hang out, I have a speaker, have different what I call boss babes. So other people call them vendors. They can showcase their products or their services. And it was getting really hard to like get everybody there. And it was just only 2.5 hours an entire month. But sometimes people just can't get there, and it's so many people going, oh, I want to go, but they just couldn't get there. So I decided, with my digital nomad life that I love to live right now, which is another self-love thing for me personally, is let's just take it all online. So literally recreating the whole like in-person event onto an online platform. So I'll still bring in a monthly speaker, maybe even have 2 since it's easier to kind of finagle that. But that speaker will have like a 1 to 2 hour Zoom, whatever they need to, like, we can have people hop on, ask questions, they can just do a video, whatever the speaker needs. That's gonna then get their message across and also help educate our ladies about what is out there that's new. Like, you know, especially a lot of the people that has helped me through my healing, I'll be bringing them on, also out there exploring for new people. So if you're out there and you wanna, you know, you have a message that you want to share with the world that's in line with empowering women through self-love, you know, reach out to me. And then the other thing I'm really, really excited about is at each of my events, I normally had about 4 to 5 boss babes, aka vendors. And so I'm going to still do that online. So what it's going to look like is they're going to get, instead of like an evening, they're going to get a whole week.
Oh.
So I'll do each week a Facebook Live with that person, that boss babe. And do like a little interview, kind of like similar to this, and be able to just ask them so people get connected to the person, because that's one of the biggest things that I've been creating for my own business and stuff is I'm out connecting with people. I mean, I'm more frustrated because I can't connect with every single person as fast as I'd like to, but like true, real connections, not just here's my business card, here's my business card, here's my business card. Like I want my ladies to really genuinely get to know that person so that if they feel, again, it's always a feeling. If you feel compelled to talk to that person, you reach out to the person. There's not going to be any sales a part of it. It's literally, here's what I do, here's what I offer. And then for the whole week, at least once a day, you have the opportunity to post, or not. If you don't post, that's on you. But post every single day something that's going to give something back to the ladies. So when you're the ladies receiving all this, you're like, holy crap, like this woman, I have someone that's, she does the Salad Masters. Well, she doesn't do just Salad Masters. She is like, oh my God, all about bringing families together and having people sit around the island again or the table eating, like that bringing that full family connection back. So she's already like telling me all these ideas that she has, which if you want to know what they are, you gotta come out. She's gonna be in October. But like, she's like, oh my God, I can share this and I can share that and all that. And I'm like, yes. And she's like, oh my God. So, and it has nothing to do with Salad Master, which is why for a lot of us, we do these things through life because of some purpose behind. Like, I just want people to have the best, like, most delicious, juicy life ever, and that they're just genuinely happy and doing what they want to do. And right now it happens to be through the channel called Self-Love. And that's what it looks like right now. So yeah, so that's what that's about, which is really cool. So if you want to feature your business and who you are so people get to know you, definitely let's spotlight you for a week. So there'll be 4 speakers or 4 boss babes. There'll be 4 boss babes every single month. And then who knows what I come up with, because I get really creative in the middle of the night. That's what I do the best. So that's kind of like, wow. So for me, I can give more to my ladies through the Self-Love Society than I ever could have done it in an in-person event. And I also am encouraging the women all over wherever they're at to then create different events and different activities. So like brunches or movies, or like my friend here owns an escape room, and I'm like, dude, let's get a like Self-Love Society like escape room event going. Yeah. She's like, yes. So that's going to come in probably October, November. But those kind of things. So now we're actually just out doing things versus everybody coming together and it's the typical like food and all that. So it's like, okay, it's kind of got a little boring for me. And I was getting a little like, I'm very creative. So I'm like, I want to do more. So this is going to be the avenue. And who knows, I'll have like different events around the world now that I don't have to have it here in San Diego, which is kind of cool. So yeah.
So how can people get involved with the Self-Love Society?
Oh goodness, it's so simple. Technology nowadays, it's so simple. So on our website, Self-Love San Diego or thedonnajackson.com, you can go to the tab that says Let's Shop, because we all know we love to shop. And it's called Let's Shop. That's where everything you can actually look at that I offer is on that page. But in there's the Self-Love Society tab. It's $11 per month. I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, the in-person events, just so you know, was $25 a person, so you're kind of getting a steal. And you get to participate at any time of the hour that you want, so it's kind of cool. So it's $11 a month. You go in there, it'll walk you through how to sign up. Every month, it'll just come out, $11. And it'll be, there's a private Facebook page right now. We might get into some other stuff and we're still kind of playing with it, but for right now, it's all gonna be through Facebook. And no one will be in that unless they're a paid member. And that's where you get to see all this stuff happen, and you'll get different emails and stuff. Then it's just so I don't have to add everybody, they can add themselves too. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, cool. So the DonnaJackson.com and
SelfLoveSanDiego.com. Either way, look for the Let's Shop tab, because we've got to shop. Got to shop.
Gotta shop.
Got to shop. It's fun.